Hi. You see, I'm sweating. 你見到我出晒汗啦。I just finished my boxing HIIT exercise. 咁我啱做完我嘅 HIIT 啦。And I just want to read it before I go to shower. 咁我就想沖涼洗頭之前咧讀咗書先嘅。And just to record that I have been continuing on my exercise regime. 同埋咧要錄低記錄低咧，我係有繼續做運動嘅咁樣。So we'll continue to read today. 咁我哋繼續讀書啦 and then we'll talk a little bit about my latest news. 咁我哋跟住就分享下即係發生啲咩事啦咁樣。Read to resist. Day 173. 當閱讀也是抗爭第173日。A Concise History of Hong Kong by John Mark Carroll. 香港簡史從殖民地至特別行政區。著者高馬可。譯者林立偉。The problem from the British perspective was not commercial and political. The problem from the British perspective was both commercial and political. Increasing trade with China, retaining some semblance of diplomatic equality, and preserving prestige. The problem from the Chinese side was both more immediate and more complex. Because taxes were paid in silver, the outflow of silver used to pay for opium had the potential to create a vicious cycle of weakened livelihoods, decreased state revenues, and domestic unrest. Acknowledging Britain as a diplomatic equal would tarnish the Qing Emperor's reputation as the son of heaven, not just in China, but throughout Asia. As the number of Chinese opium addicts soured, already scarce land was being wasted on poppy cultivation. How could the emperor allow this trade to continue without jeopardizing his moral claims to the throne and to being the mother and father of the people? Some Qing officials argue that the worst of the problems, including the corruption encouraged by the high price of opium as contraband, could be ended by legalizing the opium trade. But in 1838, the Daoguan Emperor decreed that the trade in this foreign mud must end. 從英國的觀點看，問題既牽涉商貿，也關乎政治，即既要擴大對華貿易，同時保持某種外交平等的表象，並維持英國的威信。從中國的角度看，問題更加迫切和複雜。由於當時清朝賦稅是以白銀繳付，購買鴉片令白銀外流，可能會導致民生艱困，國家收入減少和民變發生的惡性循環。如果清廷在外交上承認英國是與其平起平坐的國家，則大清皇帝的威信在中國乃至全亞洲都將掃地。隨着中國給鴉片者日眾，已經稀有的土地被浪費於種植鴉片。清帝為保大位，並負起身為百姓父母的道德責任，怎能容許這種貿易繼續下去？有些清廷官員主張鴉片弛禁，以杜絕流弊，包括鴉片因是違禁品而能賣得高價所帶來的貪污。但道光帝在1838年發出諭旨，這種洋煙土貿易必須終結。Many British officials agree that the Qing government had every right to prohibit the opium trade, but some Europeans were convinced that the Chinese themselves had caused the demand for opium. An early European historian of Hong Kong later insisted how the taste for opium was a congenital disease of the Chinese race. And very few Westerners in China took the Qing Emperor's edicts seriously. The opium trade had been tolerated for so long, and the Qing government simply appeared too weak to restrain it. William Hunter, the American trader, recalled how the immunity so long enjoyed with the inherent weakness of the Chinese government caused foreigners to believe that any serious attempt to put a stop to the trade was simply impracticable. The imperial edicts were considered as so much waste paper. Opium was imported and sold, while the oozing out of fine silver went on as usual. However, In March 1839, 林则徐, an official recently appointed by the Qing to end the opium trade, launched an anti-opium campaign in Guangdong province. Lin subsequently took hostage some 350 foreigners, among them British Superintendent of Trade Charles Elliot in Canton, and confiscated their opium stocks. 許多英國官員同意清廷禁鴉片是理直氣壯的，但有些歐洲人卻認為中國人對鴉片的需求是咎由自取。後來一位早期研究香港史的歐籍史家說，對鴉片的愛好是中華民族的先天痼疾。在華洋人沒幾個把皇帝上諭當是一回事。鴉片貿易盛行已久，清政府又積弱，根本無力遏止。美國商人威廉亨特記述，這麼久以來所享有的豁免權，加上中國政府本身的弱點，致使外國人相信其不會實行任何嚴厲的措施來禁止這項貿易，而歷次上諭不過被看作是徒然浪費紙張而已。鴉片混入售出，白銀外流照常進行。然而，在1839年3月，光樂皇帝受命禁煙的林則徐在廣東省雷厲風行禁鴉片。林則徐之後圍困約350名在廣州的外國人，包括英國駐華商務總監義律，又充公他們的鴉片存貨。So, this is the reading of today, something that we have studied in school. 今日讀嘅呢度咧，我哋喺讀中史嘅時候係有教過嘅。So, 林則徐 burning the opium， 咁就係林則徐燒煙啦咁樣樣。咁就即係佢點樣大舉想要去即係禁毒啦咁樣樣。So this is like a very rare case in the Qing dynasty that some officials is actually doing something to try and implement the emperor's edicts on the banning of opium trade。咁其實就係即係卒之有一個清官咧，清朝嘅官員咧，好認真咁樣處理皇帝嘅上諭，就係話要禁鴉片啦咁樣。It's a very interesting kind of read on the anti-drug war right now in the world as well。我覺得即係讀呢個歷史嘅時候咧，其中一樣有趣嘅嘢就係比對翻而家我哋呢一個年代，即係點樣去打擊呢一個嘅毒品啦。So the idea of like what is drug？ 咁到底乜嘢叫毒品？其實即係呢個都係一個好有趣嘅討論。I think it's a very interesting discussion. I wonder like if they do it in chemistry class， 我唔知道即係譬如讀化學嘅人，即係佢哋會唔會講呢啲嘢啦？But I mean like watching Breaking Bad， like 咁，但係睇過Breaking Bad 呢一個嘅電視即係嘅係啦電視劇嘅人咧，you would be like thinking it seems like every single chemistry teacher knows how to make math, right？ 咁你好似覺得咧因為所有讀化學嘅人，即係化學老師都係會識得即係整呢個math 嘅咧，咁安非他命嘅咧咁樣。But I mean like recently Hong Kong is going to re-ban CBD。咁最近就係香港政府已經即係宣布咗啦，即係已經寫咗入憲法，就係出年2月開始就要重新咧再禁制呢一個 CBD 喺香港即係嘅售賣啦同埋使用啦咁樣。Now it has been legalized for quite some years now。咁其實係合法咗都好一段時間啦咁。I was using it when I was in Hong Kong。我喺香港嘅時候其實都有用 CBD 嘅。So it's just very interesting。咁我覺得好有趣嘅就係 when Thailand is even legalizing THC right now。咁你譬如泰國其實都係連即係所謂即係自己用愛嚟即係當娛樂啊、當消遣嘅大麻嘅用品，其實都已經係合法嘅時候， And also like right now I am in Massachusetts，咁我而家喺美國嘅麻省啦，咁麻省係省喎，係so and it's legal as well. You don't need a medical certificate to purchase any kind of THC or CBD product。咁係呢一度都係完全合法啦，唔係即係因為有啲州咧就係你要寫醫生紙證明係醫藥用先至可以即係買嘅咁啦，咁呢度係唔係嘅。So there are shops that you can just walk in and buy edibles。咁你可以係有鋪頭，真係光明正大嘅鋪頭，你行入去可以買即係一啲譬如佢做糖啊、朱古力啊，或者即係曲奇餅啊，諸如此類呢啲嘢啦。Or you can get flowers or hash。咁你都可以買花啦，或者係即係買我哋香港人一般即係用開嗰一種就係好似煙草咁，即係其實佢係硬咗剝碎咗之後，我哋即係就愛嚟捲煙嘅咁樣啦咁即係 all these like is legal。咁呢啲全部都係合法嘅咁樣啦。So the idea of like something that's actually talking about opening up our brain, our mind, our horizon into kind of like a different idea of the world, living sort of like a different kind of expectation of our own potential in a way, is prohibited by an authoritarian government because they would not want us to have this ability to develop our own sort of like imagination or to explore more of like where can we go with our brain or mind。咁我覺得好有趣就係因為其實特別講即係大麻嘅嗰一個嘅效用裡面，除咗放鬆之外，佢有其中一樣嘢就係其實佢會開闊你裡面嘅世界啦。咁有啲人可能會有唔同嘅經歷啦，情緒上面特別其實會會釋放啊。即係可能喺創作上面佢會打開一啲新嘅空間啊咁樣，咁我就覺得即係如果講到威權政府佢哋唔想我哋去服用呢一類型嘅東西嘅時候，其實可能佢就係因為唔想我哋有呢一種自由，即係思想上面佢唔想我哋開闊到我哋即係呢個有限嘅腦袋，即係仲未開發嘅空間咁樣樣。Then so it's like a control as well, right? They can tell you what you can take and what you cannot take. And it can change anytime. And I think that is a very important point for authoritarian regime, is that they definitely would love to tell you that nothing you can take for granted. 我覺得即係特別喺威權政府佢去即係控制人民嘅時候咧，呢個 point 好緊要就係咧，佢要話俾你知咧，冇嘢你係會應份同埋係會長期擁有嘅。So it's sort of like this idea of like I can take I can take anything from you anytime as I see fit。其實佢想傳遞嗰個信息就係，只要我想，我任何時候都可以攞走我俾過你嘅嘢。So that is not your right. It's like I have total control of what you can do。咁所以其實佢唔係一個即係從權利出發嘅角度啦，佢就係即係我有權力去控制你做嘅所有嘢。And so in a way, then you would have to be compliant, you will have to be obedient。咁所以你就要服從佢啦，你就要聽佢話啦咁樣樣。So I think this is also some sort of like what is going on around the world as well。我覺得其實呢個世界都係啦 ，particularly post-pandemic, you see more and more this sort of thing coming up。尤其是即係我哋而家講緊後疫情嘅時間，其實你會見到越嚟越多政府其實都係做緊呢啲嘢咯，咁樣。So this is it for today。咁今日就讀到呢度啦，and tomorrow I'll read to you again。咁聽日再見，拜拜。